Hi crafty friend, it's Justine Dvorak from Stationery by Justine, where when I craft my world stands still. Do you have the new Sakura stamp from Altenew and you want to know how to stamp this giant stamp? Or maybe you have the flourishing bouquet one? Well, stay tuned and I'll show you. But before we get into that, I want to just mention that I have an exclusive discount code for you. If you want, use the code JUSTINEGREEN, that's JUSTINEGREEN, from May 28th to May 30th, 2026, and you can get a free Gradient Cardstock Set, the Green Meadows, on orders of $59 or more. I will have all the information in the description if you are interested, but Altenew does have some really pretty green cardstock here that could be yours for free, and I figured I would tell you about this lovely little offer that Altenew has provided me the chance to share with you. So now that that's over, let's return to the stamp. So let's say that you got this giant, beautiful stamp from Altenew. Maybe you got the one that was the flourishing bouquet. Man, I loved that one. But I found a lot of people are telling you to use your stamp wheel 2.0, like I just showed on screen, by taking off that side panel. And I figured, let's show you a different way, because some people need things in different ways. I know I'm sometimes that kind of person. And I found this to be the easiest way to use giant stamp sets. I mean, look at this. This is so huge and so pretty. So what you can do is chop it into fourths, and one big stamp is going to get you 4 card fronts. Isn't that amazing? I think that it is so unique and so fun. So here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top part of the Altenew Stamp Wheel 2.0. And by the way, there's a coordinating stencil. I figured I would share it with you here. Okay, so I've got my stamp and I'm going to flip it so it is ready to be stamped, right? So the stamping side down and the regular top part of the stamp up. And I'm taking the top of my Stamp Wheel 2.0, which is the bigger one, and just kind of making sure that all of the stamp fits on it. And if you kind of turn it, it will fit just so. And then give that a really good press down to make sure it is adhered. And just like that, I have this giant stamp ready to go. Now, if you have the one that is the flourishing bouquet, I have not tried it with this technique, with that stamp set, but it might work. So just figured I'd share it with you here. I'm just going to rub my hands on this to condition it, because this is the very first time I will be stamping with this giant stamp with you on camera. Isn't that fun? All right, now I've got my beautiful paper here, and I'm using some paper that is alcohol marker friendly. It is Marshmallow from Pajama Crafter Stamps. Now I'm going to take a Copic friendly marker, or actually I'm not even going to say Copic marker anymore, because I'm using Altenew markers as well. So I just recently got every marker from Altenew, and I have been really enjoying playing around with that. So I'm using a alcohol marker friendly ink, which is Memento, and I'm going to stamp it like this, because this is how I stamp with my better press when I have large images. It just makes sense to bring the ink to the stamp when it's so big. And I just go in a line and just go up and down along the whole stamp. And you really want to make sure you have inked everywhere, because I doubt you will be able to do a double stamp. I know I would not be able to do that. So I'm going to adjust it so it looks good to my eye, and then just leave it, right? And I'm going to grab a press. I'm going to use this Cutie Pie Frog, and it's a stamp press from Pajama Crafter Stamps, and I'm just going to gently press out everything and make sure that I'm applying even pressure to everywhere and not wiggling anything. That's the key. Don't wiggle anything. Don't bump it. Don't wiggle it. Nothing like that. And then ever so gently, I'm just going to remove it, and it is perfect. Now, let's say it didn't turn out perfectly. It's fine, because this is just paper and ink. Like so many people say, it's just paper and ink. If it didn't stamp perfectly the first time, try it again. There's always more paper. There's always more ink to be had. It's okay. Just have fun and see what you can do. And these big stamps are such a joy to color. Now, this specific stamp set has another little cluster, and this is going to fit on a regular block. So I'm just going to grab a block from my stash and stamp this out as well. I was feeling very, very inspired with this stamp specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and make a ton of cards with it. And they're going to be all over my Instagram. So be sure to check out my Instagram, Stationery by Justine. And that is spelled with the ARY at the end, because when I craft my world stand still, I know that stationery, as in paper and card making and letter writing, is ERY. I'm aware. Yes, I made that conscious decision when I started my side hustle here of card making. So I love puns. It's fine. All right, I'm adding this little bits and bob right to the bottom. And honestly, this little guy is so pretty. It could make a beautiful card all by itself. So just thought I'd mention it. Now that I have this really nice panel, I'm going to save this, and I'm going to use the coordinating stencil with this one off camera, and I'll show you what I make with it. Now I'm going to do this process once again, but this time I'm going to reposition the stamp so it is all over. So I really want a very full panel for this, and I'm going to do that by taking this giant stamp and stamping it multiple different times and really getting a scene here. So if you see the branch and how it's growing, it looks like it would be growing in one direction. And unless you would be looking at multiple trees, the branches would not be growing toward each other, unless it was two trees kind of reaching out to each other, which is adorable and a story in itself. But I figured I would have the branches go one direction. Just made sense to my brain. So I'm going to repeat this step by using my little press here and just press down for one panel on the left side here, all the way. And then I'm going to repeat that for another panel and stamp it on the side. And then I'm going to fill it in with that extra little stamp. I just really love practicing and having fun with my alcohol markers and just really playing around with the color of them all. I do like the Altenew alcohol markers. I find the stickers that go with them to be really helpful to add to the ends of my caps. So just to be very frank with you, to color a big panel like this, that is a full sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11, it did take me quite some time. I think it took me about 6 or 7 Lifetime movies long to color it. I love a good bad movie, and it took me quite some time. So I did not film the coloring of that, but I will tell you the Altenew alcohol markers that I used. I will list those in the description if you are curious and want to recreate it. If you do not have the Altenew markers and you're interested in them, I will link them as well. But if you have a different medium of choice, you could certainly do that. I also have some inspiration for you coming up in just a few minutes for how to use this stamp if you do not want to color. I have days where I do not want to color. Maybe it happens to you, but it happens, right? And maybe you got a really fun embossing powder that you want to try out. That's a little hint of what I might be referencing. So here's my second panel, lift and reveal. Oh, that's so pretty. I almost hate to even wipe it away from my glass board, but I don't want it on the back of the project, so I'll just quickly wipe it down. I absolutely love my glass board, and I don't think I could craft without it. I do have a code for that as well. Justine D will get you 15% off at Glassboard Studios. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab this beautiful little cluster and just fill in areas where I think there should be a little extra oomph. So I'm going to add one little panel to the bottom on the left, pardon me, and just kind of nestle it in. And the key to adding in all these little extras is to rotate the stamp each time you stamp it. Otherwise, it does look a little bit more like a pattern and not something that is natural. And with a stamp that is a flower, you want it to look as natural as possible. So I rotated that so the two leaves and the pokey part of those leaves are now not exactly where they were the first time I stamped it. I hope that makes sense. All right, stamp one more time in this little corner and one more time on the other corner. Now this is ready for the great chop is what I call it, but I do color the whole panel first and then chop it after, and then I'll add some sentiments. So here is what that looks like. I think it is oh so fun, especially if you like to color. This would look so stunning if you wanted to do watercolors with that as well. I would recommend using a watercolor paper and potentially using a clear embossing powder with a black embossing ink. But if you are not wanting to color at all and you just want this stamp to shine on a gorgeous cardstock, maybe you could pick up those green papers like I was talking about before, and you can make your project just be beautiful and shiny as it is. So I'm going to show you the heat embossing process on two different colors that I used to make the stamp shine. The first color that I stamped on is it's part of the Crafty Necessities, which is the cardstock line from Altenew, and it is Coral Berry. It coordinates with the Coral Berry marker, which I love that it all coordinates, and it's just a really beautiful like pink, but also a coral pink, so it's got kind of a little bit of those orange warm tones to it, and I love the way it looks with gold embossing powder. I think that is so gorgeous. I just used 2 half sheets for this. Now, the other color I used is also from the Crafty Necessities cardstock from Altenew. It's called Purple Wine, and it is more of like a cosmic purple, I'll say. I don't really think it looks a lot like wine to me, but that's just my opinion. But it is a darker cardstock, so I think it looks pretty with a white embossing powder. And you know I love white embossing powder on colored cardstock if you've watched my channel before. And if you have not, and you are just joining today for all of my craziness, hello, welcome. I am so glad you're here. And be sure to subscribe for more fun videos like this one. Try to do a little bit of fun, a little bit of teaching, and I hope to inspire you in some way. So to make one finished card with you on camera, I'm going to do that today. And I chose to add some beautiful embellishments that are from Altenew as well. These are the Stellar Sequins. I almost said they're from Stellar Sequins. They are Stellar Sequins from Altenew, and they come in a whole bunch of different sizes. I'll show you the package in a minute, but these are Shimmering Pool. They're a beautiful blue, and they are just so gorgeous with white embossing powder. So I'm adding the second smallest size to this project and the very smallest size. And I love embellishments, so I'm adding a whole bunch, and I will be showing you all sorts of cards with this stamp set on my Instagram. So again, be sure to check out that Instagram. And if you are watching this video the day this video goes up, I will have a giveaway going on my Instagram. So please be sure to check that out. I think you're going to be very inspired by how my alcohol marker cards turned out. I think it's really satisfying to see all 4 of them together laid out, and I hope to inspire you. So check out the giveaway, and I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Again, be sure to check out that code down below for that free green cardstock, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, crafty friend. Oh yeah, be a blessing. Be a blessing.